Most people that are trying to transition deeper into data only focus on tools. I get a lot of consults with people and they're like, I'm learning SQL, I'm learning Power BI, I'm learning Python, I'm learning this, I'm learning da 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 da. First of all, they're overwhelmed because they're trying to learn everything like in these weird little 2 week sprints or whatever. But secondly, learning tools is only a small part of how that data actually shows up in the data ecosystem. Are tools important? Yes. Should you know them? Absolutely. However, it's just a small part if you only know how to apply those tools. Because within the space of data, data practitioners are not just tool users. That's only a piece of the puzzle. Let's get into it. When I first started working in data, I was essentially receiving data extracts in Excel. I was taking that Excel and I was answering questions. How many people did this? How many people did that? What's the percentage of this? What's the percentage of that? And I was providing those answers directly to my manager. Until one day I had the realization that my work was actually driving real decisions. I'm talking about finances, legislative initiatives, budgeting, things that impacted the lives of real people. And that realization changed the way that I approached my work. It was no longer just tasks. It was like, this is driving decisions. I was pulling that data from multiple sources. I did HR reporting, I did financial forecasting, I did public facing data requests. It was so much data from so many different sources and places that I started paying attention to what I was actually touching and what I was actually doing. And from that moment on, my outlook has completely changed the way I approach my career. And it's worth noting as well that your title might not even have data in the title. That HR title might not adequately reflect what you actually do, but that does not diminish your work. Another thing that exposure also taught me is that data does not just live in an isolated ecosystem. It lives in multiple ecosystems across multiple tools. And I did not want to build another platform to where people were just coming to learn tools. Because, like I said, we're not just tool users in this space. This is also why I build Data Analytics Simplified as a full ecosystem. Because the first thing that you have to do is understand. You need clarity. You need to understand how data fits into your work and how data fits into your organization. Who's actually using this data? What are they using it for? What tools are they using? How close am I even to data? Does it make sense to me to get technical training? Those are the type of questions that we answer in our clarity before code option. And then we focus on career transition and application because it is important for you to be able to apply those tools to who you actually are and what you've actually been doing. And I've been screaming this from the rooftop. Passive learning does not build analytic professionals. What do I mean by that? I mean that you cannot just watch a few videos and transition into this space. There is a certain thought process that you have to have. You have to get under the hood and be able to apply those concepts you claimed you learned. This is why in Data Analytics Simplified, we focus on live, interactive training. That way, we have visibility to your thought process. We have visibility into critical thinking. My code doesn't work. How do I need to do this? Let's debug this. Let's work together collaboratively to start training your brain to think like an analytic professional, not just memorize syntax. We've had students successfully transition into analytics roles, increase their salaries, get interviews, all the good stuff. But that is not even the goal for me. The goal for me is to allow you to get the blueprint so that you have more control over your career and how things look for you long term. Continuous development is everything for me. We are always upskilling in this field, we are always learning. Once you understand the ecosystem in its entirety, you understand that you aren't just learning tools, you're learning how to build your career in data.